from New Zealand, another few hundred from Samoa. Lewis's supporters have come in from England and from Canada. It's a truly international event at the Mandalay Bay Hotel. Lennox begins trying to establish his jab, and Tua leaps forward with a left hook, his trademark punch, to begin the action. Tua has already shown you his great chin.
Lennox Lewis has better realize that the best punch in boxing is still the left jab. Don't stop using the jab. You want to keep the jab, open up the head.
Tua misses again, leaping in with the left hook. Now steps into a more familiar posture. Watch the way Lennox fights as a big man, never allowing his chin to go past his front knee, the left knee.
One thing good about it, they say keep your hands up at all times. So David Tua's best thing is to stay low, so Lennox Lewis' hands are low also. You gotta drop them to throw your right hand, as they are now. That right hand is down. Keep it there.
If Tua stays low, Lewis seems content to parry him and fend him off with the jab. Tua has landed nothing so far in the first 2 minutes of the fight.
You want to decide, Lewis should let him know, I am the boss tonight. You back away from me. Take it to him. You can't get a good shot if your hands are by your chin if the opponent is too low.
Early in the round, Tua came steaming out. Lewis hit him with a couple of good punches, and now Tua is being a little bit more.
May be the great equalizer when Tua tries to rush it. Finally, David gets a glove on Lennox as he lands a little bit of a left up around the shoulder.
You got to land some body punches when you're fighting a puncher, because he only can stay strong if you don't. Take some of the air out of the balloon.
It would be hard to give round one to Tua. He landed 20 jabs. Tua got credit for 4 of 34 from the CompuBox observers. Round 2 begins with Lewis sticking the jab, sticking the jab, sticking the jab, sticking the jab. Stick it, stick it, stick it. Rangefinder from Lewis. Tua looking and looking. Lewis just stretching the space and throwing the jab.
Tua's got to do some intimidation. Run into him, make him think that, hey, you're a coward. The jab, he can beat him all night with it.
To try to begin working Lennox Lewis's body. He got in one punch to the rib cage a moment ago. Right hand from Lewis, not thrown very hard.
Now Lewis is falling into the bad trap. You don't want to drop your hand anywhere near the ropes.
And just as you said that, of course, Tua took advantage and landed a right and a left.
Tua is doing his bobbing, he's doing his weaving. Every time that Lewis seems to see something, he takes it away from him. But you got to do something to make Lewis want to fight. There you are. That's the punch that's going to make Lewis decide, I'm getting even.
Left hook by Tua, and another left hook by Tua, and a vicious left to the belly. So Tua begins to mount his attack now midway through round 2. The time-honored symbol between fighters, oh, you didn't hurt me. Lewis seemed to try to grab Tua and went right on over the top of it.
Don't do anything for a few rounds until you get to know this fella. He hits you, go right back to your left jab. Don't get intimidated. Don't try to pay him back. Lewis got to make certain it stays the left hand, left jab.
Lennox seems to have regained his concentration, and Tua hits him with the right hand. The Tua supporters in the crowd going wild as Lewis lands a very low blow and gets a proper warning from Joe Cortez. You're looking at the cautious, tactical Lennox Lewis. This is why he does not arouse the passions of boxing fans in the way that great heavyweight champions might hope to do.
Jab your way. Keep your title with a left jab. If that's the only punch you can land, use it.
Well, what he succeeded in doing in this round is messing up Tua's hair and just landing more punches.
And landing a right hand, which Tua answered with a leaping left as the second round came to a close.
Appeared to be just below the belt level. Let's see it. But it was, it wasn't that bad of a low blow.
Yeah, that was a low blow, Larry.
But it was low. And at the end of the round, a leaping punch that gets Lewis right on the nose.
The fight is going the way Tua wanted to go. Jab, keep this guy running from you. Keep him running. Make him afraid to throw his right hand.
Lewis in the first 2 rounds averaging 65 punches per round. Harold Letterman gave it to Tua, no doubt on the basis of his aggression and that left hook that he landed at the end. That's what will excite the Tua followers.
Lennox Lewis should move and keep moving to his left, keeping his jab. He can do it all night. Move to Tua's right all night and jab. Goes to his left, and that's where the trouble starts, right like now.
Good head movement, good shoulder movement by Tua, but he still hasn't been able to get really inside on Lewis where he wants to be.
Well, here's a chance as Lewis backs into a corner and then steps away. Well, you've always talked, George, about how a big man should fight big, and Lewis, at least in recent years, has been the epitome of that.
He's moving now successfully to Tua's right and jabbing.
So the way to move for Lennox is to his own left, to Tua's right.
He's going to interrupt you, and it's going to hurt you. There you are. Don't go over on that side. Stay away from that side.
It doesn't take much for Tua's supporters to get overwhelmingly excited. There he's able to land a couple of shots to the body as Lewis moves off the ropes.
Once again, Lewis moves to the left. If you want to clown, clown to his right.
Hard shots to the body, and now Joe Cortez tells Tua to keep him up.
Let him go.
When Lennox Lewis gets into trouble, it's often because he waits and does not stay aggressive with his jab. He threw 65 punches around during the first 2 rounds, and most of them were jabs.
Now Lewis is throwing shots. That's what you want to do. It's a lot easier to throw shots and take the power off of them and be accurate.
And now for the first time, Lewis grabs David and holds him, and the Tua crowd boos because they know that their man might be susceptible if Lennox wants to tie him up inside. Ringside scorer Harold Letterman, how do you have it through the first 3?
Okay, Jim. Well, first of all, let me say this much. At the beginning of the fight, you have to start the fight in the corner. Joe Cortez was right by moving it back into the corners. 28, 29, 28, David Tua. He sticks it out. There's no snapping it. He's not doing no damage. So the damage in rounds 2 and 3 was done by David Tua. Therefore, he won rounds 2 and 3.
To Lewis.
Lewis started out aggressively. That's what you want to do. Make this little guy try to protect himself a little bit.
Bring out.
Now Lewis can step in and keep his hands in position without holding.
Lewis threw only 43 punches by CompuBox numbers in the 3rd round. He is so much better, so much more effective outdoing as Lewis uses the space in this 20-foot Las Vegas ring. The Tua people complained.
Ready to shoot. You just can't decide what to do next. Once Lewis' body touches the back of those ropes, you must throw shots.
George, you said earlier that he's coming to get Lewis's title.
That's right.
I mean, but he's not coming hard enough. But he's been known in the past to fight at this pace early in the fight and in the last 3 or 4 rounds to come on very strongly.
You know, and it's strange because he is not close enough to get the right shots off, and his corners better beware of that. They should tell him to get closer. Get closer.
But they still may feel as though their man, with his constant aggression, the body shots, and the fact that he lands more thunderously through the first 3 rounds than Lennox, is winning the fight and is doing what they want him to do.
Lewis is doing a good job of not allowing him to get close. Now, when you miss a big hook like that, that's 5 miles of your road work.
Round 4 of Lewis's 80 connected punches, 60 were jabs. Tua with an edge of 27-20 in power shots. That's what Harold Letterman was talking about. Been giving Tua the first 3 rounds to David.
Conversely, Lewis is this tactical fight right now.
In fact, Lewis considerably more cautious early than you might have expected after the total dominance. Has been saying all along, this is a different kettle of fish. This is an entirely more dangerous opponent. Right hand by Lewis.
I mean, he zeroed in real low because Tua decided to stand straight for a second as he followed him. If you're going to follow a puncher around, you better be hitting him.
Lewis leaping on top of Tua and holding him as he found himself in the corner. And there's another right hand that he pops David on the top of the head with.
Now Lewis is finding a certain amount of comfort level that Tua's allowed him to have.
Well, it sure looks like a comfort level at this
He's
moment.
comfortable now.
The champion is starting to throw his right hand with much greater frequency here in this round. Tua pops him upstairs with his own right.
If you're going to follow the puncher, hit him. Even if you miss, throw shots.
And it was a hugely effective punch for him, particularly in the second Holyfield fight. Is he waiting to set it up?
Yeah, he's waiting. Tua's moving his head, going duck and dodging. You don't want to hurt your hand, so he's trying to do it accurately. And sometimes if you just throw it, you'll be surprised the punch is there for you.
He's not trying to put anything together yet. Some blood coming
Crosses
from
his leg. When he goes to his left, he crosses his legs. He's a sitting duck for a right hand.
Lewis looking tactically in control now toward the end of round 5 as David Tua misses, and Lewis pops him with a counter right. Body shots by Tua there. Lewis with a low blow, and then he sticks Tua twice with the jab. No warning for Cortez.
Going to the body.
You heard Emmanuel Stewart say to Lewis, you were fighting a masterpiece in that round. He makes Lewis miss, and then he makes him pay.
Tua misses. He's lost it. If Lewis has something, he's lost.
Let's go.
Well, if Tua was counting on...
There you go. You got to be reckless. Lead with your hooks. You can't just decide, I'm going to tactically take the title away from a good champion like this.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine, even though Harold Letterman has Tua ahead on the scorecards, it's really hard to imagine Tua winning a tactical boxing match.
It can't happen. Sitting there and coming off that mound with it. That's what brings in a lot of power that Tua may not have tasted before, because this guy comes from on high with this thing.
Now Lewis back to the round 1 action. Pop, pop, pop with the jab.
David Tua is just looking for the one shot, it appears. It's square on the jaw.
There was a big feeling, as you were starting to get to a moment ago, Larry, in Tua's camp, that Lewis lacked stamina, and they'd be able to wear him down over a long haul.
Now, Lewis was trying to pay him back. This is the fight Tua wants. And forget about it being hit that time.
It would appear that if Tua's going to make Lewis's stamina a factor in the fight, he's going to have to step up his activity level.
This was the best left hook that Tua landed in the fight.
Of him in the late rounds yet. He's got to start doing it right
Lewis
now.
is shaky, and a lot more shaky than you think. He allows him to recover.
Tua does.
You can rely, you hit him hard.
Well, that goes back to what Larry said a little while ago, that Tua's landing one punch at a time, not in bunches. Using the lazy jab there.
Tua's trying to get Lewis back over to his left side. He needs to walk on over to Lewis' left and make him go back over there.
You know, there were concerns that hair might get into Lewis's eyes. It appears to be coming almost down into Tua's own eyes.
He's almost probably spars like that all the time.
It does have the beginnings of a sheepdog look. He's had that hair for the last couple of years.
Once you see him take his glove and move his hair backwards, then you know something is going wrong.
Hadn't happened yet.
Straight right hand from Lewis. Has no trouble punching downward, George.
No, he picks that head up, jabs it, and the head comes up, and he throws the right hand.
Well, both
Tua better keep his head a little lower, even when he's jabbing. Make him hit your forehead right up top.
Both corners have told their fighters to be more assertive in this round. Let's see what happens.
Harold, how do you have it through 6?
Okay, Jim. The harder shots to win the next 3. Lennox did never let us snap. But certainly in round 5 and 6, Lennox outboxed him. David trying to move in. Lennox popped him with jabs to decidedly win 5 and 6.
I have it 4 rounds to 2 for Lewis.
And Ronnie Shields didn't seem to think that David Tua was even in the fight. He told him in no uncertain terms after round 6, you're losing the fight. They want more activity from Tua. Looking at David Tua here.
I don't know if it's a factor here. He's young enough, it shouldn't be, but he doesn't appear to be as quick as he did a couple of years ago.
Larry, it's not the weight. This guy Lewis is moving to Tua's right hand, wanting to move him to his left, and he's jabbing him. That's the problem here.
Against Ibeabuchi is throwing 35 punches around against Lewis.
Lewis jabs him, touches him with his hand, and when Tua looks up, he's too far away. Generally, when a guy hits you, he's close.
Now this isn't pretty. Boxing fans don't love to see it. They want to see the sustained aggression. But Lennox Lewis to win tonight and look sensational the next time.
Well, why should he go and stand toe-to-toe with the shorter, very strong fighter and give the other fighter his best chance? He's fighting the kind of fight that got him here. He's landed most of the big blows in this fight,
including a right hand right there.
Remember, Tua has the puncher's chance. And we said that early on, the puncher, all he has is the punch.
Moskayev, Ibeabuchi, and Rahman, he was well behind going into the last third of the fight.
Tua came out of his corner with a vicious combination to the body and now falls back into the rhythm of following Lewis around and takes another right hand.
Keeps the right foot too far behind him. Just step on up there. Step on up to the plate.
He's got to get in there and brawl. He's got to get in there and throw punch after punch.
Most of his weight on his right foot. You've got to get closer. Step up in there. Put the feet together. Now he's on the ropes. Jump him. Jump him.
There you go. Lewis goes in with a right and a left to the body. Cortez watching closely, but I must say, Lennox is taking the body shots without showing any ill effects whatsoever.
To cause him to breathe hard.
Now Lennox
he should attack. He should attack.
His own, and Tua leaves him alone, and Lennox steps right back away from it.
Once you get close, you stay close.
Could it be, George, that David Tua is just too afraid of Lennox Lewis's right hand to be himself in there?
No doubt about it, but he's tasted some of that right hand, and he should be afraid. This right hand that Lewis has comes from another direction. It's like dropping a pin from a 20-story building.
There's the long right hand, lands for Lewis. Lewis hasn't put a three-punch combination together, but by and large, he really hasn't had to. Jab and move, jab and move, jab, move to the left, jab, move to the left.
Lewis is not breathing hard. Tua is not putting the pressure on to make him breathe hard. Shakes, bakes, doesn't do anything else.
In Madison Square Garden. I'll bet you the CompuBox numbers aren't all that different either. Lennox Lewis is giving a boxing lesson to David Tua through two-thirds of this heavyweight championship fight. The chronically placid exterior of the heavyweight champion from Kitchener, Ontario and London, England, Lennox Lewis. And you heard what Ronnie Shields thinks about the fight.
Yeah, this is the point where Tua has always come on in the past in his tough fights.
Now, Tua has him up against him. He's not doing a thing. I just can't understand all of the training in it. Who cares? You can't come out of these fights looking pretty. You're going to have to get some scratches on you, and that's the only way you're going to do it with Lewis. You got to sacrifice.
The minutes are passing, and it doesn't appear Tua has a chance of winning a fight like this. Well, lots of guys, no shortage. Oliver McCall, Henry Akinwande have gone into the ring with big talk against Lennox Lewis. And you have to wonder how many of them have been intimidated by the size and the right hand of the champion. Maybe he doesn't have to do much to win his fights. Whoa! Big combination, and Tua smiles. You know why? Because he was hurt. That's why.
He finally decided to use it.
If he throws it with consistency, forget it. How are you going to beat him?
Tua's got to be involved. Once those exchanges start, he's got to mix it up. That means Lewis is close enough.
Big left hook for Tua.
He knows that the left hook is David's virtually his only chance.
It's his only weapon. In fact, I'm thinking of what Lennox said in Free Fight Publicity. You've only got one thing that can win you this fight. I've got a whole arsenal. He looks so right now. As he realizes that he's just not going to see this storm of aggression that Tua and his people promised.
Left jab, still the best punch in boxing, as I said earlier.
Let him go clean, let him go.
Tua's face beginning to swell, just as Holyfield's face swelled in the first fight with Lewis.
That's great.
If a team has a great passing attack or a great running attack, you made them beat you with the passing and vice versa. You take away the strength.
Fighting for the title, you can't be afraid to get knocked out.
And there's the uppercut for the first time, and it wobbles Tua. Lewis landed the right, came back with the uppercut. Best combination of the fight. Tua rolled into the ropes.
Yeah, but he paid a heavy price to get his in.
You must pay that price. Even if you get scratched up, you got to go to the doctor after the fight. Mix it up.
Lennox Lewis, David Tua stopped fighting it basically at the end of round 4, and it's been all Lennox since then.
I wouldn't have it that close. Larry?
Well, I have it. A couple of things we have to bring in here. One is the weight. We don't know how much it's affected him. Another thing is 7 rounds against 4. The third thing is we heard that Tua was unable to spar for the last week of his training because of a body shot that hurt him. I don't know if any of that matters, but what I do know is that this is not the David Tua. Well, I didn't see it. I heard it from a pretty good source.
Don't take anything from Lennox Lewis tonight. He's winning this boxing match. The weight is fine. Everything is fine. He's outboxing this kid. And he's about 30, what, Larry?
35, George.
And I'll tell you what, George, you won't find me saying he's losing because of his tactical command and his physical superiority.
How you go, Tua?
Now, just as I say that, he finally catches a left hook from Tua, but one punch at a time.
Ooh, that right to the body hurt David Tua.
Lennox is hurting him with a lot of punches now. You can't get ready to fight somebody like this by fighting the kinds of guys Tua fought.
Yeah, they got into the position of mandatory challenger, and they froze the ball for 2 years.
And this is too big a step up. Tua just doesn't look ready for the fight. It is becoming a tactical wipeout.
Well, it's a desperation time. You never count a puncher like...
Don't come up with excuses. When Muhammad Ali whipped me, I had a bunch of them, and a lot of people who said I was going to beat him, they came up with excuses. But when you lose, you lose. When you win, same thing.
David Tua is very disappointing in the challenge he's making so far.
Hey, listen, for the past few years, and he's showing it again here, and that's why the crowd is booing. This is not an overwhelmingly popular heavyweight champion, but he might be, for this moment, a virtually unbeatable one.
Well, if there's any boos, it should be for the challenger. He's not done enough to try to take the title.
Lands a good left hook and doesn't do anything after.
One punch at a time.
That's what he's doing. That's what the kind of fight you need to fight with a puncher like that. Play games, take it safely. Tua, all he has to do is just dive in with a right hand and throw a left hook with all his might. That's all he has to do. He's afraid to take a chance.
He's afraid to take a chance. Even with his trainer urging him and yelling at him, jump in there, fire punches, flurry. This is going to be another round in which Tua will throw less than 30 punches.
Well, his problems in the late rounds is he didn't make Lewis work hard enough in the early rounds, George, as we were saying, so that he might wear the older, much bigger guy down.
Lennox Lewis is just toying with him. Just toying with him.
Pot shot.
As we reach the end of the 11th round, 3 minutes to go for Lewis to hold on to his title again.
David Tua prepared all of his life since he was 8 years old for this chance. He's been disappointing up to now. Can he make it all up in 3 minutes?
You know, Jim, in rounds 9 and 11, Lennox showed us the three-punch combination. He's really in his rhythm. Watch for that three-punch combination, because heavyweights normally can't do that, and Lennox does it beautifully.
To Mike Tyson against Lennox Lewis. And I have to assume that Tyson at least would risk more. So this is not a style preview to Tyson Lewis, because Mike would just be a heck of a lot more rambunctious the way Tua has. You agree, George? You agree, George? Tyson would be more rambunctious? Maybe those people who are filling the exits now are the New Zealanders.
Lennox Lewis could be heavyweight champ of the world for the next 10 years if he so chooses, because he only gets better.
Well, what you're saying, George, really is, and he apparently still has that.
He's got it all. He's got the package, and it's lasted a long time.
I'll tell you what else he has. He has calm, he has confidence. There are just no flies on Lennox Lewis, folks. This guy knows how to fight.
And he's still aware that David Tua has this power. Still not taking any chances. He's not a fool.
Jab, jab.
This is really a great fight.
Body shot.
Jabbing and moving. And
this is a lights-out artistic performance by a heavyweight champion who, for the moment, looks impregnable.
To 110, all for the winner by unanimous decision, and still the universally recognized undisputed heavyweight champion of the world from Great Britain, Lennox Lewis.